welcome to the Turn On Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota Lachlan, and on this podcast, we talk about how God can turn your life around for your good. Welcome to the Turn On Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota Lachlan, with a special guest today, Salinas. Welcome back to whatever today's episode is. I don't even remember what. Do you know what number it is?
We didn't check.
86, 7, 8, 98. No,
What you get?
Not 90. I think it's 87.
I'm
That's
going
my guess.
88.
We don't even know.
Keep talking. 1 second.
Anyway, today I don't know what we're titling this today, but today we're talking.
We're just flowing.
We are.
We're just flowing.
We have a topic to talk about, but I don't know what the encompassing title of this is. But anyway, today
87.
87. So I was right.
87. Okay. You know what? This is how our friendship is. Speaking of friendships, that's what we're talking about.
Well, that's what we are. Not in a cheesy way, because this is not what I wanted to come as. That we're talking about it, friendship as friends in a cheesy way. But,
And I only...
it is very important to prioritize who you surround yourself with, because that'll affect you a lot. Because I've already talked about this a million times, but it seemed fitting for us to both talk about this because we both have our...
Everyone knows about it. This is friendship.
That's true. Lyric gets mentioned almost every episode because she's involved in whatever story I'm talking about that day. But anyway, today, that's what we're talking about. Prioritizing who you're surrounding yourself with, as in, like, how to, one, not waste your time. Two, to figure out who your friends are and how they're affecting you in your life. Because that's very important. Because friends and everyone around you will affect you in some way, shape, or form. So you really have to, like, come to terms and think, how are they affecting me? Is it a good influence on my life? And if it's not a good influence, you should just
Are they lifers?
throw it out, because otherwise it's not worth your time. Because it's not worth your time otherwise.
It's not. It's a big waste of time.
It is a big waste of time.
But literally,
I'm not done talking. But there is a lot of people who waste time, and me especially. I wouldn't necessarily say waste time, because I still talk to some people from, like, elementary school and, like, middle school. Yeah.
I don't.
You don't?
I have no connection with anyone in elementary school, middle school, nothing.
Well, okay. It depends. I guess it depends on the person. But, like, I
just saying I'm a bad person.
no. I said it depends on the.
Oh, on the
Like,
on the on the friend. Oh, okay.
I'm saying depends on the person. As in, I still in contact with some of my old friends from, like, elementary school and middle school, but they're not in, like, my, like, central group of friends anymore. Just because we're on very different, like, tracks of life, paths of life, and I feel like you have to. Every friend that you should be close with should be going in a very, very similar direction, because otherwise you're gonna end up going in different directions, and then it's just not worth your time.
The roads going to a Y. It's not it.
If it's split in two different directions and you're trying to, like, lead each other in both two different directions, it's not worth your time.
Okay. Are you done talking?
Now I am.
Okay.
Jeez.
I was only gonna say that
Interrupt me. I don't really.
I was only gonna say that I'm on here again because I persuaded Dakota to get me on here again. Because
I said
no, I persuaded you to get me on here. Like, I forced myself to be on here only because I was a little bit immature, I will say. It was a total clown show because I was nervous. And I don't know why. It was a total clown show.
If you have no clue what I'm talking about, Lyric was on the second episode ever of this podcast. So
I don't know how to act.
I was super new with this. She was super, super new with this, because I at least had one episode under my belt, but it was probably, I think, 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And now they're like,
I didn't even take the salvation prayer seriously, and I would like to apologize for that. So, but last episode,
people don't even know what you're talking about.
they'll go back. They'll go back. So I apologize in advance. But last episode, I was like 7 years old. This episode, I'm 7.5.
We've grown so much.
I've matured a lot. When was that?
That was almost a year ago. That was like September, August. Yeah, like almost a year.
Oh my god.
I know. So we're here 1 year back.
In a whole different thing too.
Oh yeah. See, look what the Lord's done. Great. So anyway, not to go off on a million tangents, which I'm sure we will, because that's just that's
us.
If you interrupt one of our conversations just like on a normal daily basis, we switch topics like every 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So
we will talk about toothbrushes 1 second, and then we'll go into like animals.
Sure, we'll go with that.
My example.
Okay, that's true. It was an example. But today we're talking about who to surround yourself with and how that plays such an important role in your life. So the first scripture I want to go into is Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." And I think I've used this, I've definitely used this verse before, but I don't know if I used it in this way. But you can have a lot of friends. I'm not saying that having a lot of friends are a little...
you don't have to be like a loner.
Yeah, that's not... The Lord doesn't want you to like not surround yourself with anyone because everyone around you seems like such a bad influence. He doesn't want you to have friends.
It's good to not care.
Yeah. It's
good to not care, but it's also, there's an extent to it. Like if you're fine with being a loner, then that's on you. That's pressing, actually.
Like you shouldn't like base yourself off of like how many friends you have to start yourself out at for like to point number 1. There is no points, but this is the foundation level here. That no matter how many friends you have, that shouldn't be like your confidence and where you put that, because that's stupid. But I'm not also saying that if there's like, it seems like no one's good enough to be your friend, that's not what I'm saying, because the Lord will bring you such great friends into your life that he'll give you great friends. But there is like a choice, especially I had to make in public high school. There was a lot of people everywhere that you had to be very, very selective with your friends, because there was lots of groups and you just sort of had to pick and choose. And what I'm tying into this verse is like, you can surround yourself with a lot of people, but like depending on who they are, they either have no influence on you. Actually,
a bunch of different categories.
A lot of different categories. So they either have a good influence on you, a bad influence on you, and there's not really a section of like no influence, because there's
no middle. It's just one or the other.
Because even if it's a little good influence or a little bad influence, you need to make the choice where you want to like stand in the middle, because otherwise you'll either like you'll go back and forth, and then you'll have this like it will be equally yoked, as it won't be equal.
And then if you want to go forward, they can just be like taking you backwards easily.
Yes, easily. So it really depends on who you're surrounding yourself with, who you hang out with, who you talk with, because you're going to pick up on things that they do. You're going to, even if you don't even realize it, you'll start to do things that they do, or say things that they do.
And if there's like a point to where you have to cut off people that are backtracking you, then that's a point where you show God that you don't care, that you allow him to work on it, that you're able to sacrifice, pay the price of letting people go, and then he'll bring you the godly friendships that you need.
When I switched to, if you don't know Slum, I've told this story before, but obviously there's new people every episode that listens to this. But I switched to homeschool the middle of my ninth grade year, and I surrounded myself like every Monday through Friday. I surrounded myself with people from school, all of those days, like 6 hours, 7 hours a day, however long school is, from like 7 a.m. to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a long time to spend time with every single week. So I was like, Lord, if I'm gonna leave here, which the Lord pointed me in this direction to leave school, I was like, there's gonna have to be a point that I do have other friends, because I didn't want to just leave and then have nothing to do, have no really other friends to talk to. But the Lord gave me a whole other better friend group then that I can be a lot closer with than I was with any of my friends that at that point. So I was like, Lord, if this is where you want me to go, I'm giving up these friends. Like technically, I'm giving them over to you, because I know you'll give me something better. Yeah, there has to be some kind of point in your life that if you if you're starting to notice that you don't really have great friends, your friends sort of stink, you're
not making any progress.
Yeah. If they don't point you in the right direction, if they're not pushing you towards God more than you're already like going towards,
if it becomes a toll, let them go.
Yeah. If they're not pulling you towards the Lord, there's your sign to push them. So, I feel like a lot of people can get it twisted that like if they aren't Christians, if they aren't necessarily fully pointing you to Jesus, you have to cut them out completely and like never talk to them again. Because I have friends that aren't Christians. But the thing is, like, I don't like, they're not my closest friends because I know that they, no matter how much I want to think that I'm rubbing off on them, they're gonna rub off on me. But they're not in my like closest circle. Because otherwise it would rub off. So
it would bring speed bumps to that road.
It would slow me down.
It's good to know them.
Really. Yeah.
But not like attach yourself with them.
Yeah. Like I still talk to people that I'm talking about, like the high school friends that I have, but most of them,
it's like
all of them don't.
Occasional.
It's not. Yeah.
Like a checkup once in a while.
I care about them. I love them as friends, but like they're not in my closest circle because whoever your closest circle is, that means like the most. Like whoever you surround yourself with the most, whoever you're like really in your like.
It's like that saying, like, show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you where what your future looks like.
That's true, because otherwise you'll go in many different directions, but whoever you're surrounding yourself with, that's gonna be the direction you're gonna go in. So
here's a question. Here, it might be funny. Speak to the question. You've cut people off before, right?
Yes.
How do you cut them off?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a good question.
So,
but it's funny because my response would be funny. We all want to hear yours first.
Why?
I want to hear yours first.
Is yours gonna be a joke?
No.
Are you sure about that?
I understand that not everything has to be funny.
Okay. I'm not saying that. Okay. Anyway, specifically, I'll give you a vague rundown because obviously I'm not going to tell the life story of this.
Because people also they'll be like, well, I don't know what they're gonna say, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna talk about.
It could be.
It starts into overthinking, and overthinking will lead to a deep hole.
Yeah.
But how do you? Yeah, go on.
Like, a lot of people think that if I want to distance myself from this or cut this friend off, it sounds like this big dramatic thing. And obviously,
reality show.
Yeah, it's not this gonna be like this big scene, someone's like shutting doors in your face. It's not like that. But obviously, it's different for every person because the people that I've cut off in my life, I wasn't like super, super, super close to. Like, it wasn't like my best friends in the whole entire world, but they were pretty close friends that I started to see that they didn't point me in the necessarily right direction. And it wasn't like they were, I don't know, making me do all these crazy things or like, I don't know, drugs or something. But they were not like that. But like I started to like prioritize and make a very like big choice in my life. That was like, if they're not pointing me to the Lord closer to where I want to go, then I'm just gonna distance myself from them. I'm not keeping them in my closest circle because that's not where I want to keep those people, because I know I'm going to start to do things that they're going to do. No matter what they're doing, I'm going to start doing those things. So basically, the people that I like wanted to distance myself from, it's actually a lot easier than so many people think.
Yeah. Like, it was easy for me.
Like, I thought I was very close with these people, but really once I started to back away, they didn't do anything about it. And I'm sure, unless you're very close with the people that you are realizing that you need to cut off or distance yourself with, like, a lot of people that, like, if I were to distance myself from you and I decided to, like, stop talking to you on a daily basis, you would be confused. But these people...
Yeah, I would fly to your house, fly from Texas to your house and beat you up and say, why the heck aren't you answering? Okay.
But, like,
I'm kidding.
I wasn't as close as, like, we were to these friends. Like, to the friends I cut off. But I thought we were, like, decently close. But once I started to take the steps back away to, like, distance myself, they didn't do anything about it, which then really showed like this is not worth my time because like it was just basically almost me being friends with them. It wasn't them being friends with me. So and that's when you'll start to really realize that like God will give you friends that are fully worth your time. That everything
you'll notice it.
Out. Yeah, you'll know the difference between friends that you've had before and like friends that God will give you. It'll be like this whole entire new thing. So
how did you cut them off? You just
I like started to like.
Or did you distance them yourself, or did you like let them know, or
I didn't go up to them and say, "Hey, I'm cutting you off." It wasn't like
no, not like that, but like a text.
It was no.
You know what I mean?
I just really just like didn't make the like full effort to like go out of my way to talk to them. Like obviously, if they went up to me and talked to me, I'd talk to them back. It wasn't like I ignored them, but like I didn't make the effort to like go up to them to talk to them. Because then once I stopped doing that, everything just sort of like died down and I don't talk to them anymore. Okay, you?
I'm going to use people as an example. Like based off of what actually happened. So I'll just name up these hypothetical people. So we have
don't you don't need to tell her.
Okay, my God, I don't know.
Just like do
I would have like people text me like making plans. I would have those people want to make plans, be like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I'll be like, "No." That's when I started to like. We're on the phase where I was like, "Okay, should I do this? Should I not do this?" But I was feeling like not to like cut them off. I was feeling to cut them off. So then they wanted to make plans, and I was like, "No." And then they would keep on texting me, and I was like, I would just ignore it. I would just ignore it, cut it off, and then they wouldn't text back. That's how it was. Just like a complete cut off.
Yeah, you just really
Yep. No, bye. No more for you. No more for you. No, but yeah. Oh gosh. No, but it's like, let's discuss. Anyone thinks.
You have to make the choice. It has to be some kind of sacrifice and choice in your life that if God's gonna be your full time, that's like you're giving God your life completely, the people attached to your life you have to like separate them out because otherwise it's just gonna be that it's gonna be like this like a war is like too dramatic almost. It's gonna be like not like that. It's gonna be like at a constant like pulling between either what the Lord wants you to do and what your friends are going to pull you towards. Because
sorry.
No, keep going.
No.
That was pretty much done. Like it's gonna be a constant pull between God and what He wants you to do and your friends that are doing like the complete opposite. Because you have to make the choice to like go either all in with God or go all in with your friends.
And then when you like quit playing tug of war and go all in with God, there's like a lot of benefits that come with it, like maturing, growing. That's the same thing, but like
not necessarily.
Yeah, a discernment. Yeah, that's a big one. Wisdom, like just so many things.
When you surround yourself with godly people, you get godly traits because you're the people
that's exactly it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically the big thing with like the whole connection is, to me, it's just like sacrificing and paying the price.
Yeah, but it's honestly once you sacrifice even a little bit, because honestly, sometimes you realize like the friends that you have sort of stink. Once you cut them off, it's not this big price to pay because God gives you such great friends in return. So it might be hard for a second to like think that if I cut these,
oh my gosh,
I'm gonna like, it's gonna
no
be
more friends. That's it.
Thing.
Yeah,
the Lord will bring you better friends, and like, I like honestly with me, it was in a quicker time than like I could have ever thought about, because I prayed for like strong, godly friends to be in my life for a while, but then once I made the choice to start like cutting people off, that's when everything came in. Because I was praying for these like great godly friends, but then I was still hanging out with all these other people that, again, like they weren't bad, they weren't like terrible influence on me, but there has to be a choice you have to make that you want to be surrounded with people that are like all in with God. And once you make the choice to like go in that direction,
it's fun.
The Lord brings so much else into it, other friends and things. So anyway, back to Proverbs 27:17. That iron sharpens iron, so as one person sharpens another. So if you're trying to like sharpen yourself by these friends that aren't iron, it's just gonna make you more dull, more ignorant to the things of God. And that's honestly the truth. Because if you're surrounding yourself with people that aren't fully sharpening you and what you could be yourself, like your full potential, they aren't bringing that out of you, anyone else is just gonna like push it under the rug because they're just like almost like dumbing down your full potential.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say something. But so you can't sharpen yourself if you're iron sharpens iron. So you can't sharpen iron with wood. You can't sharpen iron with plastic. So you really have to make sure whoever you're surrounding yourself.
Friendship with a knife and a plastic straw. That's not it. Do you get it? It's like, no? Like if one person is a plastic straw and you're the knife.
But a knife can cut through.
Like oh wait, no, not knife. If you're iron, alright, and I'm a plastic straw,
right,
that doesn't sharpen each other.
That was a weird combo to pick, but okay. We get the point that you can't be sharpened. You can't be sharpened by something that's not as like full quality as you. If that makes sense. Are you having like a meltdown over here? What is going on?
I lost the flow. Sorry. I had a joke in my head to share.
No.
And no, wait. I had a joke.
Allow you to tell a joke.
Okay. I had a joke in my head to share, and then I was like, well, no, never mind, because it doesn't fit in anymore. So I had something to say, like that was important. Then they mixed, and then it just exploded. So now I'm trying to retract myself while you talk.
What is happening? Oh, gosh. The Lord is using this some way somehow. Anyway.
If this is speaking to you, please let me know.
Oh, gosh. I hope you know what? Just laughing.
You know what? We just came back from an epic camp.
Into that. I know someone else is laughing out of this. It's not just us two laughing to ourselves.
We laugh at each other. So if I don't make sense, and you don't make sense, together, I don't think it makes sense.
Anyway, that was the only verse I had to share today. That like you have to prioritize where you want to go in life because your friends are ultimately gonna like pull you away from where you're gonna want to go or bring you to where you want to go and be there along with you because they're going in a very similar direction. Lyric and I, we both want to be evangelists. We all both want to go to RTBI, which is a Bible school here in Pittsburgh. But like we're very, very similar tracks in that way. We're going in very similar directions that it's not like I don't know what you would want to do otherwise.
If like I want to do weed.
What went through your head when you said that?
If I sell drugs.
And if I wanted to be an evangelist, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So you can see here that if both of us would be going in very different directions.
I don't do drugs.
We're not gonna meet up somewhere in the middle and like go the same direction.
Yeah, we're not gonna be like, let's just do drugs while we evangelize people.
That'll work.
No.
I don't know what went through your head when you said that. I don't think anything did, to be honest.
It's empty up there. But like when you like back to letting go of people, it's a sacrifice for the will of God to be done in your life.
Yeah, because the will of God can't be done in your life if you're surrounding your people with stinky friends.
The will of God can't be done in your life if you have like depression or going through some type of demonic phase. And then when people can like throw wood into that fire. So if the people that are throwing that wood into that fire, you just need to let it go.
Yeah. Because like if you find yourself like depressed or anxious or like anything under the sun like that, check who you're surrounding yourself with.
What's influencing you to be that?
Because I'm very sure that if you're struggling with anxiety, depression, things like that, honestly, anything like that, I'm sure that your friends are dealing with the same thing. You all sort of like
somewhere.
You all like feed off each other. There's no direct, like you aren't all going.
There's no way out.
There isn't all like unless something changes in your life, which can be today. What changes in your life that you need Jesus. This is the thing of this is the reality of it all. That whoever you're surrounding yourself with, no matter whoever you're surrounding yourself with now, it doesn't have to be who you surround yourself with for the rest of your life. Like almost, I guarantee, like every single adult, like they don't talk to the same people that they talk to like in high school. Maybe they have some, but like a lot of it's not because they've like grown so much that they've grown out of the people that they've surrounded themselves with. So the people that you're surrounding yourself with, maybe they brought bad things into your life. They brought things.
They're like seeds. Like all the seeds that are planted in your mind are by people who you're around.
Yeah. Even if you don't even realize it, there's a lot of people that don't realize how their friends are affecting them. But I hope by this episode that you've started to realize that God's pointing out people in your life that maybe you need to distance yourself from them. Maybe you need to pull other people back into your life that you've distanced yourself with. Whoever they are and whoever you are, that you need to make things right with the Lord by separating yourself with friends, but also to make things right with God himself, because that's where everything starts. Because if you don't want to make things right with God, you're not going to separate yourself from friends or ask God for new friends because you aren't right with God himself. So to make things right with God, it says in his word that all you have to do is confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus is your Lord and Savior, and you will be saved, and that will play an effect on how you act with other people and how God will bring new friends into your life.
Like our youth pastor, Pastor Riley, she has some great messages on like these kind of topics. And one of the things she said that stuck with me is like, you need godly people in your life to plant godly seeds. Like if you're gonna have a best friend for life, that best friend for life is gotta be planted in the house of God, have the same kind of mindset, and all you have to do is literally, you don't even have to like walk around and be like, are you my godly best friend? Are you my godly best friend? No. All you have to do is pray about it. Like the same way that God can heal the sickest person, the same way that God can heal the most depressed loner. Okay? That God can bring someone into their life. God can give you a best friend. You realize how easy that is?
God, yeah, it's not this hard thing for God. God has everything planned out, from your best friend to the best group of friends that you can surround yourself with. Only God can bring that into your life. So by connecting yourself with God, you connect yourself with like a whole entire new life on the other side. So
everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
Like people may think, oh, God took this person away from my life for like punishing me because I'm a bad person. When that's really not the case, because God just wants you to fulfill the purpose that he has for your life. But first, you do need that encouragement, that godly encouragement, that, what do you call it? That
the God that needs
that push that you need.
God will give you the people that you need to be surrounded with by you taking the action on your end first to make things right with God, to start cutting people off, whatever.
You're determined to have a best friend.
To be determined. Okay, are you talking about us? That's not what we're talking about now. I know. Well, that's what we were talking about. That like I wasn't like I.
Yeah, basically this whole episode is about the success of our friends.
No,
I high fived you. I went for a high five, but
I was looking in the other direction. But no, it is a testimony of like how the Lord has brought Lyric into my life, because I made the decision to go after God all in, and God just brought her in, and I'm sure it's the same way.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
we were 1,000 miles apart.
Yeah, we were on very separate ends of almost the country. So, the middle, not exactly separate ends, very, very close to separate ends. That the Lord just once you give God your all, God gives you his all, and like friends, with family, with the right church, with the right people, with the right job, whatever it is in your life, God will give you the best if you give God your best.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, oh, I was perfectly fine. when I cut off people, okay, I'll be honest. When
It's a sacrifice.
when I cut off those people, it was like, woo, those were the only people in my life. Guys, come on.
It was a sacrifice, but the Lord does bring new people into your life, and they're better than anything that you could ever think of. So the friend group that we have now, we have the same friend.
I couldn't have asked for it, but
I honestly couldn't have either. So to not even go out and try to find the right friends, to give it all to God, give your life to God, He'll show you what to do.
You know what else is a big thing that just popped up?
What?
Like temptation. If you're surrounded by a ungodly friend, like a group, like a
So
circle.
if you're surrounding yourself with, you're gonna be pulled.
Yeah, because like if you're in the round, wow, word. You're in the wrong like circle if you get easily tempted to sin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to drink when you're with those people. It's easy to smoke. It's easy to do this and that. But then on the other side, you don't face any of that.
The other side, when you have friends from God Himself, that God is literally giving you a whole...
It's not even a thought that comes into mind.
It's because they're not pulling you in that direction. But maybe you have had those friends that have pulled you in the wrong directions. You've pulled others in the wrong directions, and you want to make things right with God. Because once you make things right with God, everything turns around for your good. Because that's what God wants. It says that Jesus gives us life and life more abundantly. So the friends that you have, maybe they don't push you towards abundant life. They don't push you towards the right things. But if you want to do that today, to make things right with God, to wipe away your past, or to wipe away the sins that you've pulled other people into, that other people pulled you into, that you just want to make that all right with God, to wipe those things away, because that's what Jesus died for your sins, for your abundant life, that you can live a life full of abundance, including your friendships, because it's very important who you surround yourself with. So if you want to do that today, I want you to pray this prayer out loud with me.
I'm going to do this.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something else to say.
I'll say that after.
Okay. So, if you want to make things right with God, I want you to repeat this after me. Say, "Dear Lord Jesus, come into my heart. Forgive me of my sin. Wash me and cleanse me. Set me free. Jesus, thank you that you died for me. I believe you are risen from the dead, and you're coming back again for me. Fill me with the Holy Spirit. Give me a passion for the lost, a hunger for the things of God, and a holy boldness to preach the gospel. Thanks. I'm saved, I'm born again, and I'm on my way to heaven because I have Jesus in my heart." If you pray that prayer today, I want you to go to turnaroundpodcast.com.
Whoa, it's the website, guys. Sorry, I got happy words.
The website, turnaroundpodcast.com, and you can fill out the very short form. It says, "I just got saved." It's like 4 questions, like your name, your phone number, and your address, because I'm sending you a free gift where you enter your address. Because that was the best choice you could have ever made in your life. Very much worth celebrating. If I was with you, I'd throw a party, but I don't know where you live. But celebrating with you from wherever you're watching from. But that was seriously best choice you could have ever made, because I know it from experience. So, but I want to let you know to make sure that I send you the free gift completely free from me, but I need to know where to send it to. So make sure to go to turnaroundpodcast.com. I just got saved. Fill out the form. If you're listening or watching anywhere, it's in the description of the episode. Turnaroundpodcast.com. Very easy to fill out. Literally like 3 questions. So make sure to do that. You can follow on Instagram. You can give to this podcast. If you want to sow a seed into this ministry, you could do so. Did you just pull off the website?
No, I just pulled up confetti. We're celebrating with.
Oh, we're here.
Oh wait, audio listeners.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, and Apple and Spotify, I have no clue what we're talking about. But if wherever you're watching from, if you want to sow a seed into this ministry, you could do so on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo at turnaround.pod. Yeah, at turnaround.pod.
This episode went by so fast.
It does.
But I think most of the time it's because I was just like, brain fart.
It does go fast. If you're watching on Apple or listening or Apple, Spotify, see where I'm looking, but my computer's down here, and it has like where I'm recording. It tells us how much time we've been recording, and yeah, it really does go by super fast. I have to like make sure to cut myself off when I'm doing this.
Might be one of those episodes.
Yeah, it is. With the intro and outro, it'll be like 38 minutes or so. But it was a good episode.
Quick recap. How was camp?
Oh, camp was great. I'm going to talk about that the next episode because we don't have time.
Okay, well, yeah. Camp was phenomenal. The encounters I had they were great. The first night, the Lord touched me like I've never been touched before. But yeah, that's it. Rushing me off.
I know, because I try to keep going to 30 minutes. Work early, like 36. So,
I almost didn't make it to camp. That's a story. That's a story.
They got like stuck in the air.
I got stuck in the airport. I had to put in this like code, and I put in. There was 2 codes because Dakota had surprised me or whatever.
So I like changed her flight, made it difficult.
So I put in both new codes and it didn't work, and I basically like pooped my pants in the what?
What ended up working? What's the issue? What fixed it?
I didn't put a code in. I had to show the receipt. I had to walk up to the agent to the counter and show him the receipt, and then he was like, "Okay, you're good." I was like,
"Oh." They just like thought you were lying.
No, but maybe because I'm online too. But I almost pooped my pants.
I don't know.
Anyway,
so
we have many stories, but
yeah,
we're
over the time. We could just sit here and talk like a normal conversation for.
We should one of them.
That would be funny.
Just like non-spiritual.
It would just be like complete nonsense. But anyway,
people would tune in for that. Maybe.
We're
funny. Okay, I'm done. We're done.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to episode 87. 87. Thank you for listening to episode 87 of the Turn On Podcast. I'll see you on Friday for episode 88.
I love you.
See you then. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to leave a review or reach out on Instagram @turnaround.pod. See you on Friday for a new episode.